Hi, my name is Hian Kwok from Friends of Irony. We've been pretty busy here the last couple of weeks. I was traveling over to Texas. We're considering making a move over there, and I think we most likely will, so if things line up properly. But while we are out there, we did get some good email responses to the email we sent out regarding would you go back in to take out a terrorist, to take the terrorist out in an active shooter situation. Well, we had Jose, who's a police officer, who responded, and I think this really helped a lot. So I wanted to read this here. He says, "Hey, and I respect your opinion as to what you would do if raids was an active shooter situation. As a law enforcement officer, I would like to think that if anyone is in the mall with an active shooter and they have a firearm that can stop the killing, the other person would take action. Spend time with my family. I spend time with my family going over these scenarios all the time. First, absolutely, get your family out of to the nearest exit. But if you decide to go back in, some things must be done by your family. They must call 911 and tell the dispatcher that their father, husband, whichever fit, is going back inside to try to stop the shooter. Your family member then must give the dispatcher a description of what you look like, what you are wearing, as detailed as they can, so that the responding officers know that you're not the bad guy. As far as litigation goes, this would be no different than a self defense or defending the life of others. Now, unless the dispatcher tells your uh, family to tell you to get out, then make sure that you have the phone with you on vibrate, of course. Then you take off. You must also have a plan as you enter to figure out where the threat is. I don't expect you to walk out in the open at him, but you need to move in and out of cover to attempt to end his shooting without him seeing you. Next time you're in a mall with your family, talk about it. Where would you go? What areas are good to cover? Where would you hide to take the shot? Of course, this is a personal decision, and I don't think any how if you didn't go back. Of course, we train for these situations, and it's our job to handle it. Thanks for the topic. So that really helped, just kind of open up some perspective. I talked to my wife about this, like, should I go back? My wife's like, no. Definitely, I need to either get more training. Personally, I don't think my wife's able to take care of herself financially if I was gone. So this is what I responded to him about that, to basically just summarizing what I just told you. And it did open up the thinking of, yeah, if I did go back in, it did make sense to have my wife call the dispatcher, which I didn't think about before. That way, I don't get shot accidentally. Okay. Uh, so yeah, he's just saying, yeah, thanks, and protection yourself. Shoot, soon you should ever stop an active shooter. But I doubt these will prosecute doing so. He'll be a hero in my books. But next time you're out with the family, restaurant, public place, discuss it. So just kind of being prepared, talk about it, and if something does happen, you know exactly where to go. It's already planned out. Now I got a couple of responses from other guys who say, "Would you go back?" He says, "Well, I feel the same. I feel my oath to took. It's my oath that I took to defend the nation against foreign domestic enemies. If there's an active shooter, I'll do my best to take him down." All right, and then case this guy says, "You hit it right on. No matter what kind of badass you are, it isn't your duty. Too much of a wannabe hero, and you're without your Second Amendment rights after prosecution. So that's a little bit of that too. Um, what if I go in and accidentally shoot someone else? I don't know. There, you know. But of course, I'm gonna train, of course, and do my best. And it's just, we have our pros and cons. So I think it's up to each and every personal individual whether it's what you feel is right, and we wouldn't think any less of you if you didn't go back in. Um, Chris Gauthier would go back in, um, and that is the ones that I've at least um, tagged to talk about. I think there's a few other ones, so let me just kind of go through them real quick, see what they say. I would if a terrorist was a major threat to my family, my friends. I heard the cops need help, but often cops have the situation covered. This one we just went over. Um, David Armstrong. If a terrorist was a major threat, yeah, okay, we just talked about that. Stephen Sullivan, yes, everything. Josh Moore, I would like to, okay, see more content. Yeah, so if there's more, this, If you would like to know more about active shooter situations, I could probably I will be creating some more videos on active shooter situations, how to secure yourself. I did take an active shooter course that was held here in the city of Rancho Cucamonga, and so definitely I'll bring some of that into the training as I get more time to do so. But thank you so much for all the response here. It kind of does open up perspective. I hope that I can share with you guys and kind of open up the discussion here. Yeah, your duty to be family first, as far as being here, running back in, active shooter. I honestly think the situation would dictate if returning to the building is doable. For instance, does he seem trained? Is he wearing protective equipment? Is it big building, or is it even feasible to enter and clear effectively with a four-man team? Without a four-man team, most situations may say you should do nothing and leave it to the police, but that's my 2 cents on that. So thank you, Michael Nikolai, for that. And yes, he'll go back in tomorrow. Um, yeah, so there's a lot of people who said yes, they'll go back in. Some it's just a situation where I don't know what to do. So definitely, first and foremost, your family, and then help others out. Especially if it's like a certain situation, if it's a school and there's a lot of kids in there. Um, and but if there's like a you know no they may not, some may not be able to have. So oh, there's more. Okay, so let me go ahead and read this. Would I go back into a store with an active shooter? Honestly, I don't know what to do. I like to think if that were to happen, I would get my family out safely. If they were with me, then I would go back in to help others out. I wouldn't have the intention to go in there to engage the shooter at that time simply because the shooter is running on different kind of adrenaline than I would be. I couldn't leave innocent people in there. No, they may not have a weapon, so may not be able to have one. Elderly people, kids, pregnant women, handicapped people. I have the obligation for myself, my family, and every other American to stop the threat when one is presented. I have an obligation to help others out. At that moment, you cannot fear. 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 If you do, that will ultimately be the death of you. Fear is the false evidence appearing real. You must train regularly, not just your shooting, your mind as well. America is a great country in the world, and I will never settle for a lesson from this country. If I were to go back in the store to help others, I would definitely call 911, notify the dispatcher what I was doing, what I was wearing, where exactly I was, that I have a gun, a licensed carry gun. I would do that. I had to do what I had to do to get as many people out. If I came face to face with a shooter, well then I would be it will be time to do what I've trained my mind and body to do aggressively and engage the shooter. While I'm not law enforcement, I have wholeheartedly believed in what the Bible has told me to do, protect myself and my neighbor. My family would be sad, yes. I believe they would be much more proud that I stood up for innocent people who didn't know in an effort to keep the American spirit, honor, pride alive. Would I go back in the store with an axe shooter? Yes, I would. Well, thank you, Adam Magnum. He was actually our winner here of our tungsten carbide ring of the ISIS Hunter. So thank you so much for your response. So I think that's pretty much it for this video, and thanks so much for watching. If you have any other questions and or any things to talk about, definitely bring them up to me. And I definitely would like to get this going. I might want to create a group, a Facebook group, or maybe a just comment on the YouTube. Let me know what's best. Okay, thank you.